The Playground Poker Club is our host, and taking their seats at this special event are 12 of the game's toughest pros competing for points in one of the most prestigious events in the game. It can only be the Party Poker Premier League.
Just got so pwned, it's a joke.
No! Turn an ace to end this race.
Yeah, baby, that's it! This is the best shine poker.
I mean, what the hell?
Yeah!
That's the way to do it. I'm not going to listen to Tony anyway. He clearly has no idea what he's doing.
Come on, let's go!
Oh, this could lead to something.
One thing right a day. Try to practice on that.
It's impossible for you to be as dumb as your actor. You're an idiot.
Bark, 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 bark.
Welcome to Canada's second largest city, Montreal, where one of the biggest events in poker is taking place. The Party Poker Premier League has come to town and is putting on a show at the Playground Poker Club. Providing the entertainment are 12 stars of the game, and here is a reminder of some of their performances so far.
In Heat 1, Premier League newbie Jeff Gross won all the chips, taking down the maximum 14 points. Heat 2 saw Scott Seaver and Jason Kuhn go heads up, both desperate for points after poor finishes in Heat 1. Kuhn took it down and moved to the top of the league. Heat 3 got off to a flyer with another star lineup. It looked like it was Sorel Mizzi's day. He eliminated Phil Laak and then went on to take an impressive chip lead.
When it rains, it pours for the Miz.
Then we saw a string of eliminations. Short stack Jonathan Duhamel was knocked out by last season's champion Dan Shak. Jason Kuhn followed him out the door, and after a shaky start, Vanessa Selbst managed to cling on to take fifth spot. Here is a reminder of the league standings. Jason Kuhn currently sits at the top of the board with 20 points, but he won't be there for long. Those highlighted are still in play and have a chance of winning the maximum 14 points. This means any of the 4 remaining players can take the top spot on the league table. But the favorite at this stage is definitely Sorel Mizzi.
Heat 3 has kind of a crazy dynamic. I've got the chip leader, Sorel, not just the chip leader, but by like a lot.
Infinite. Just
So
endless streams.
Tell me what the dynamic is on the table, because clearly you can kind of run over it right now.
All right, so the dynamic is, just got to make sure that no one's watching. No, well, Jeff is, playing pretty tight. I mean, everyone's playing pretty tight and letting me do my thing, which is what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, at this point, it's me, and then everyone has a stack that's sort of flat. Uh-huh. So everyone's trying to move up a little bit, and it's not like it's like a last longer between them at this point. So, they're going to be playing a lot more conservative, and I'm going to be, because of that, I'm going to be allowed to, accumulate in really easy, non-stressful ways, like just opening instead of having a 3-bet, because people aren't opening very late. So yeah, it's a cool dynamic to be the chip leader, and I think everyone's playing pretty ABC right now. So
okay, well, it's a different situation out there. Heat 3 continues.
108 hands have played out, and Sorel Mizzi is at the top of the leaderboard with an incredible 1.5 million chips. The other 3 players are going to have to pick up the pace and catch up, especially Jeff Gross, who has just 126,000 chips. The blinds are now up to 8 and 16,000, and I'm joined by Brian Rast and Phil Laak for the conclusion of this heat.
You show up to me as shoving any two.
It's pretty wide.
Yeah, it's pretty wide.
So, I mean, I think you've got to go with this. Yeah, okay, Jeff.
C8 raise all in.
Time
All in
to
call.
move.
This
I don't know
guy.
how I wake up with these hands.
You didn't wake up with anything. This is an easy king call.
You got
This is too easy. God,
But you know what?
Kid always got
I just love they give me action. That's all I wanted
He
was a
really
call.
does. King Queen should
I didn't
feel
want to be
like
dominated. I wanted to
48%
call.
here in Montreal.
Miz, you know I got the run hots on.
I slightly want me to win more than I want you to win.
That's a great flop for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Would you prefer another flop?
No.
Really?
No.
I think you would.
Yes, he would prefer a king.
Mizzy, I'm a podium kind of guy. I'm not a fourth place kind of guy.
No, I don't think so either.
Really?
Yeah.
Paint, any paint.
Yep.
Any paint.
there you go.
I love that flop. God, this place
See, you
loves
knew all
me.
the way.
Montreal loves me. I said it.
Look at all
I'm
this.
like, whatever.
He is
I
going
just-
to win
I
this.
told you it was a good flop.
It was. It's running so bad today. It's unbelievable.
Miz, I mean, I knew it was going to come. It was just a little dramatic. The jack was unnecessary. Any paint is
There was
nice.
no fear in your eyes.
No, it's nice when it's it's any paint, right? Because it's like just any paint, like a picture card.
You're
It's like,
all
oh,
in
double.
game.
Any paint you win. You're right.
And look at this now. Jeff Gross has jumped up to 258,000 chips. Could he go on and win this? He still has a lot of work to do, but he is certainly feeling confident.
I found the fold
I would say right now, I guess the three favorites to be at the to go straight to the final table would be Dan Colman, Sorel Mizzi, and
It's
Jeff
hard to get
Gross,
running
really.
eights though. That's
sure.
like a lot. It's like that's not like a
I knew I didn't have
normal.
the flop.
Sometimes you got to pay hands off.
Yeah, it felt like one of those.
Gross. There they are at this
Yeah,
table.
non-heart 8-8, no problem.
Obviously, Antonio Esfandiari is,
C3 raise all in.
I mean, you can't. It's hard to call him a favorite with 5 points.
but he's only played one heat, so he's got a game in hand
Fold.
in a sense. You gotta add 6 to that. Don't 6
Yeah,
on
but I mean, the
average.
3 people we're just saying are all 14, 11, and 7 after
right,
one.
right.
And they're all, I
Can't
mean,
sweat it this time. I already
the
lost.
top 4 in this one. I mean, Antonio's 2 points
C1
behind even the lowest one of them, and far from the top 4 in the next heat.
Poor Shaq, he really needs the points.
I
This
mean-
is a very tough time to run into queens. Misses his
wow.
I don't want to jinx myself, but the ladies have been doing very well for me.
Miz, you're a ladies' man. Of course
Ladies'
they're doing
man,
good for you.
4 or 2 could be just gutter stuff.
Only 20 bigs, not really that crazy. Ooh.
Good game, Dan.
Wow, so Dan out now.
Wanted that 4. What is
I believe that's what, 7 points? This is exactly what Phil and I needed.
It really was. I mean, that was quite big for a lot of the lower guys on the league table. Dan Shak, chance to get 11 or 14 there, only getting 7. Not a disaster for him,
Hey, he's just
but
doing
he is
all the
going to
work.
be
I'm
in
just
the muck
buckling
and
up.
mire
So now
along
the cards are doing the
bottom
work.
half of the leaderboard. And Jeff Gross ladders again. He's been the short stack for a while.
I was a short stack and looking like I was going to bagel twice. So part of me is happy with 4th place. I don't like the way I played my last hand. I could have raised, folded, so I wasn't too pleased with that. But overall, I guess considering I started with 0, now I have 7, it's at least moving in the right direction.
All people at the bottom you want.
Yeah.
Miz, it's even better if I win, actually. Like, if I get first, then
Yeah.
it's just like...
Well, not better for me.
You said,
but-
yeah, I think, yeah, that's right.
You got me for
Yeah,
a
that's
second
right.
there.
That's good, yeah.
How much do you have?
I have 400.
A lot of the pressure's been taken off these guys.
420.
Yeah.
Now, Jeff at a minimum is walking away with real
420,
points.
huh?
I know,
Plus
I
his
mean,
real points before, and same
Jeff
with Coleman.
Jeff is guaranteed the final 4 now.
This
Yeah.
could make a dent.
14 plus
I'm going to put it in.
Yeah, he's
minimum
in.
I'm all
9
in, I think.
and 2
I
rounds
was
to
gonna raise,
go.
but
I mean, Jeff is not going out.
Wait, are
first
you...
two in the
Is
next
that
Wait,
not
do I
all
have to
in?
pull back? Whenever they
I
do that, it's not
Coleman
good.
might be in
How
the
much?
same spot.
Did he say all in?
He said,
I
I'm
swear,
all
I was
in.
Hey, these
just
guys.
talking to someone about that. Like, whenever, was it you?
yeah,
I don't think
I will
Miz
not
can
lie, that
fold
would
this
be
for a
bad.
million.
If he's like doing the like
239 total.
induce, like wait a little, like maybe you called good, not good at
How
this.
239 total.
239. I call.
Seat 1 call.
That's gonna be. Oh, I love it. You got ace queen, miss?
No, 7s.
Oh, sorry, dude.
You got it?
Here we go.
Oh, yeah.
You're really good all into
You're just chilling. You know, huh?
I won one of these the other day with a king jack.
Yeah, that was versus me. King Jack versus my sixes.
Sixes. So sevens, like it's like whatever.
Montreal.
King Jack with
This one would
the best in Montreal. JG doesn't lose these races. This is not 53 picks that screen. It's more like 68%.
I
thought he'd already
feel like
doubled up.
JG's losing this one though.
Queen 10-7.
Oh, you get to see it.
You get it right away. Right away.
Good.
Wow, I thought you meant for you right away.
Yeah,
Too good.
I think you were vibing the wrong way.
We'll go 8 of
He's
hearts.
gonna win this heat.
I'm a nice guy.
From a long way off, he was
Don't put
gonna
that
win
puppy
this
face
heat.
on me.
Wow. Heart. Oh no.
Heart is good.
Heart is
No, but
no
you
good.
got.
I mean, heart is 10
7.
hearts is a good card for gross, is what I'm saying.
How much is it?
Oh, Miz, why? I thought we're tight. All right.
Got it.
It's too strong. You're all in game.
I'm a strong guy. Listen, this is a sit and go for all the haters and Rast and Antonio and this and that and the king. Just calling the king I flushed. You know that was right.
Jeff
Come on.
Gross doubles up again to stay in the mix for maximum points. Join us after the break as Heat 3 continues here at the Playground Poker Club.
I never know what that smile means.
Nicely done, Jeff. Nicely done.
I'm a sicko. I need a sweat.
This is not normal poker. This is like fun style points like this and that.
Welcome back. Out in fourth place is Dan Shak, whose league campaign is now in the balance. Sorel Mizzi, Dan Colman, and Jeff Gross remain, but which one of these superstars will edge closer to the coveted title? Let's find out.
No one has ever made it look this easy in the Premier League. For Sorel Mizzi, it's just been sort of automatic.
38.
C4 race 38,000.
Wow.
Ooh, this could be a cooler. This would be where his tight stuff from before would actually be. We would like him to go back to the super tight JG.
But I mean, it's not. JG's
gonna
shove.
Yeah.
Flattery though. That's what they say. So.
Do you think he's been playing pretty tight this Premier? He just tries to survive. This is a.
Is it the best strategy to go all in and then just dog him?
Well, he decided.
Maybe he's going for a stop and who acts first on this?
No, he's second. He's
second.
Playing his position.
He's playing position with a real hand. It's a go and go. Huh. Well, I'm pretty sure the 10 Colman feels he's winning that. I mean, the king is. We would have heard about the king already.
Maybe only like king X suiteds or something that JG's not shoving.
That could hit the ace jack. So.
Wow, JG's
he's putting his opponent on something.
What does he think?
He's thinking, you know
35,000.
what? JG does play tight.
Call.
But yeah, you gotta call that. Now, if you could find a second barrel, he would for sure. This looks like maybe Colman has a jack, you know. I think it's gonna go check.
Yeah, me too. I don't really like a bet with JG. I think it's a spy shoot, probably not.
Check.
8 check.
He's taking the value. It's not gonna.
Do you have to show first though, since you're the aggressor?
No, that's in Europe.
Yeah.
It's in Europe. But he does want to see what it was.
He does want
Colman
to.
did want to see that one.
Yeah, he was going to use his one time there. I think his one time of being super rude and hoping he could just get it through.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, can I see the hand?
Wasn't bad, heads up.
And well, right there, you know, of your panel of 27 experts, Phil, 26 of them would have gone broke with the 2 4s. Now I know that's very results oriented, but only Jeff Gross is
because he understands it's all about survival. This is something I used to
survive.
He's taking it to heart. I'm going back to the survival tent. I'm going to join JG in survival tent.
He is now the man on the
the
singular road. One man walking down the yellow road.
The game?
So this was now they're seeing the flop. It went flat, complete.
So he's the one who's brought it into play, Dan Colman. He's brought the lip into play.
And he's gotten some other people to just go along, yeah.
Right, and it is quite interesting because certainly Mizzi would have.
50?
Sorry, how much?
Mizzi
I
will.
thought we were waiting on a flop.
50,000
I didn't
total.
understand what happened there.
No, he just had 8,000.
Ah, okay, I saw him putting 16. I got you.
Call 50,000.
Wow, yeah, Dan's
Who's
Dan's
happier?
saying I want the value out of this hand. You're going to have to win it because I have a lot of Broadway value.
I'll get out against two of the best.
And
Sit out.
did Mizzi raise enough? Is he happy enough with this result right now?
Heads up.
No, I Mizzi definitely.
Mizzi doesn't want
to take it
action.
down.
Yeah. Wow. You have to love this kind of flop with King 10 and the way things have been going.
It almost feels like Mizzi kind of walked into Colman's trap there.
Well, with this flop, he definitely did. You know, things could have worked out differently, but this flop's going to go like either bet shove or check bet fold. It's going to be one of those two. Depends on whether or not Mizzi
Seat
wants to
1
bet.
check.
Yeah, now Colman, I'm
4 check.
probably going to bet, and Mizzi's probably going to fold. Wow, check, check. Terrible card for Colman.
Terrible bad, yes.
I mean, now Mizzi is thinking maybe my ace high is good.
Why did Colman check back the flop?
Yeah, he was probably going for a delayed c-bet, which isn't silly. I mean, I think what he's thinking is, if I bet and Mizzi shoves, I have to fold, so I'd be losing the equity for my hand. But you know, the flip side to that is you give up the chance to get ace high to fold really on a lot of runouts, which is what happened. So, and I mean, it's not, you know, just because. Oftentimes, if you get check shoved on, you don't have the best hand anyway, so it's fine.
This is thin.
It's thin.
But
and
it's
can
thin
the king
enough.
high? Can the king high kind of get in there and look him up? It's basically only king high, jack high is kind of like.
Also bet really, really thin. Huh. So you want to bet 50,000?
Is he trying? He might be trying to get called by exactly a king, or win a chop. But I don't think
Whether
that's
or not he is, when it happens, he'll claim he was.
that is for straight legit truth.
It's one of those situations where Sorel only shows just how smart he is as seldom as possible.
I feel like he's. I don't know. I feel like he's probably going to fold.
It's tough for me to fold in these spots.
It's just hard for me to see how king high is good here most of the time. I mean, if Sorel had a lot of his king and jack and 10 highs are all betting the flop because they already have straight draws and stuff.
Right, and his complete error, his 6-5 hands are definitely betting the flop, right?
I mean, it'd be very strange for him to have checked them twice and then just.
Yeah, you would see bet with a lot of weak, a lot of hands that don't have showdown value would have been bet by the turn.
I mean,
so
it kind of looks like Mizzi has the hand that he
exactly
has,
an ace. It kind of feels like exactly an ace.
And Colman can't beat that, so.
Colman said to himself, well, he was just giving up on the flop with nothing, and I didn't realize it, and now he's decided to do it. But he wouldn't really all of a sudden try and win it on the river then if he was giving up.
Fold.
King high for you?
Show bluff.
You had king 10?
King 10, yeah, for sure.
I had king 10.
Yeah. Miz is good. Miz values the ace.
I was pretty sure you had king 10.
Of the 12 people in this tournament, how many would say that they're top 2 skill-wise?
Oh, like they're the best in the field or ever?
Yeah, in this field, they're one of the top 2.
Wait, in this field ever?
No. Like in this field, in this field of the 12, each person they're the best too.
Oh.
In this format or in
this
poker?
format, yeah. Just go anything they have the biggest edge.
It's an interesting question. Like Dutch Boyd said, everyone, it's like poker, it's sex. Everyone thinks they're the best.
Dan small blind 8,000. 38. 38,000.
Yeah, this is a spot Colman's going to definitely work on. But, I mean, I feel like JG's hand's like a little too good right here. He's probably going to, I don't know, he called fours. I don't know why he wouldn't call this, but.
Well, he's going to fold this because he can't set pedal this.
This is almost a better hand to call. I'd rather shove fours and call with this.
Yeah.
Fours does better when you're
Multi-handed,
actually called with the shove.
Right.
And, you know, this actually plays better. You're more likely to flop a pair or something with this. So, at these stack depths, I'd rather shove before.
By the way, I'm really glad to see that JG, his tight thing was really 8 to 4-handed. 3-handed, he's been doing a little this and that and flatting with hands people might show, but he's playing more, you know, which you have to.
As he was a heads up, you know, he out-juked Colman in heat number 1.
C8 check.
And there is a run out where that 7 plays.
There's the start of that run out. Could it be the Montreal 3-4 on the river?
It plays now, basically.
It basically plays.
Jack, ace, all sorts of cards. 3.
Oh, not anymore.
This is I think
4 bet 60,000.
You gotta call this. Your hand's too big the way the action, everything's been going. I mean, how do you fold this? You're crushing everything except real hands. I guess is this the same as a king 6? Is a jack 7 the same as a king 6? Kind of.
I mean, yeah, it's
kind of
only,
weird.
there's only like.
You're basically, does he have an ace? That's the question.
No, it's a little better because he could have had like 9s or 10s.
Yeah, that's true. 8s.
But I mean, I think you got to call. I agree with you.
If JG calls, which probably is the right play, he's going to be sick that he's not playing tighter. Because he loves that tight fold. Find the fold button, kid. You can do it. Find it. You found it so many other times when we thought it was wrong. Now we think it's right to call, so find us wrong and fold. Show the people how tight you can be.
Show them that you got feel.
Yeah, feel. That's what it is. It's feel.
You just know.
Oh, do it.
You just know when
yeah, you know it,
JG.
We're like rooting for him. JG, he knows that he has to call. That's the tough part. The math
Isn't it hard
is so,
when you know
yeah.
you have to call and you just know it's no good? I hate this spot.
But he doesn't know it's no good. He'll end up calling, I think. But if he folds, I'm going to be really proud of him. Maybe this tight thing is.
I mean, he's underrepresented his hand.
He has. That's why.
But here's part of it too. Colman has bet 60 into 85, so it's like the bet's kind of big enough that that JG's starting to think like, damn, it's it's not like a little 30K ball where you're just like, oh yeah, he's value betting like
and his stack
5-8.
Yeah, but wouldn't Colman do this with just not a little bit of air, but a lot of air?
Yeah, no,
he
maybe,
might
but
think
that's
I'm trying to get a king high to bet.
But see, now JG's starting to wonder if the dichotomy is bluff catcher. Like he checked Jack.
Wow. He folded. He just saved it. That is feel or playing really tight. But I'm gonna give it feel.
Let's go feel.
I'm gonna go feel. Yeah.
That'll be a curious one later. Curious what you folded. I think you had like Jack, Queen.
Dan Colman remains firmly in the mix with those recent wins, and his Premier League debut continues to go well. The man known for excelling in hyper turbos certainly looks comfortable here at the Premier League.
I was Dan Colman. I'm from outside Boston, Massachusetts. I don't think I had a natural ability for the game. I first started it was gambling, It was just fun. But then as soon as I found online poker, I realized that some people were winning and I want to know how they were winning. So I looked into that and I just kept trying to work to get better and better until eventually I became a winning player. The 2 biggest online heads-up tournaments of the year, I got second in the 20K buy-in and I won the W Coupe 10K buy-in. Whenever you win a tournament, you get a lot of confidence from it. You realize, wow, I can win. So when you're in a spot where you're down, you just lost a lot of chips, you know that you're still capable of winning. The grind lately for me, it's been getting a little bit boring. So when this came up, I was presented with this opportunity. It really excited me. This is my first big TV tournament. I'm a bit out of my comfort zone. There's bright lights, you're playing on a poker table it's not your normal poker table. But at the same time, I feel very confident when it comes to playing poker. I feel very confident in my ability, so it's not going to change my game at all.
You can get it returned.
Lines are up, and this is a reminder of what they are fighting for. 14 points will be awarded to the winner. The runner-up will get 11, and third place is awarded 9. All 3 remaining players are vying for a big finish to help guarantee a seat at the final table.
Yep.
JG investigating his chip stack. It is actually really kind of annoying to watch all the time.
CD raised 50,000. Can you just put your cards on the scanner, please?
How much you have behind him, Jeff?
Now I have to count it.
300-ish total to start.
I like how he's going to count again after playing with his chips. I mean, Mizzy's in trouble here, I think.
Wow.
I mean, Jeff started to play a few more hands.
You have about 4?
420.
He's shipping it, yep.
Seat 1, re-raise, all in.
Call.
All in, call.
Wow. How do you do it, Jeff?
That's the worst possible hand to have against aces.
It's good to know. Thanks for the fun fact, buddy.
Oh, good. I'm sure it's a good
Fun fact. At least they have suits. My suits
Yeah,
are
that's
For the fun fact.
It's not the worst. The worst would be ace of diamonds, 9 of clubs. But thanks for sharing that. Did you have a 9 as well? Is that what you're saying?
No.
You had 2?
I wish.
Wow. How do you have aces when I have an ace in my hand, when we're in a 3-handed game? That's what I want to know.
That's my style.
How do you do it?
One, you know it. You're just asking a rhetorical question.
Like, I figure 30% of the, I'm going to have 30% if you call, like, 99.9% of the time.
That was
But
the
you
purest
just have-
reaction I've ever seen from Sorel.
Okay. How much?
Thank you for that fun and interesting fact.
That's amazing.
I think
That's
we
really hard to
should
do.
watch that
I just want to let you know
again.
that's very
He
difficult.
gave him the thumbs up.
It's not
I'm not your ordinary player. You've known that for years.
I know.
Did
You're
he?
a podium player.
This tight quarters, we're going to match up a lot.
You've made the podium already, and now you've doubled up.
I told you I'm not just here to. This is like what I'm here to play.
Nicely done, Jeff.
I'm happy
Nicely
for you.
done.
That's my style. I'm a little more cautious and I play
Second
simple.
position,
In
729,000.
the
Gross
Jack
has done it. 14 points in the bag for Jeff Gross.
second class.
Guaranteed.
Oh, that's some run good.
Yeah, I had a
9
good
year
draw.
and
First-
on track, perhaps,
first,
to
first
that
day
immortal
and then a
position
day
of I
off, day off
cannot be beat. Not in Montreal. Not this
C1
year.
raise 40,000.
and Not tonight.
I'm all in.
C4, re-raise, all in.
He knows what he's doing, but he's going to get some bad news.
I think he's in trouble,
Yeah, Mizzy hasn't snapped this off.
Seat 1, call.
Aces.
Really?
Did you say ace?
Sick fast roll. Aces.
He has a sense
That
of
does
humor.
not give
Dan
the look of a
Colman.
man with aces.
I do not.
No.
Oh wow, I had a good
I like
hand.
having
I had a
the-
good hand too.
Yeah.
Did you have any of these cards here?
I had none of those.
Okay. It's a fair sweat.
I will say this: I had the suit. It was suited. It was one of the 2 suits.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to tell you.
All right. We'll find out on the flop.
That's all I can do.
Oh, it wasn't hurt. I like my side.
You like your side?
Feeling good is Sorel
Money?
Mizzi. This one looks like it's
Yeah,
going
sure.
heads up most of the time.
Jack is a blank.
There's a heart.
Yep. I mean,
You got a heart at least.
not a good flop for
Can't
Dan.
say you
Would
didn't
you
get a
take?
heart.
Would you take the 3 of hearts?
I'd be okay with it.
You'd be okay with that?
I would be okay with
You got
it.
a nice
Why are you guys
stat.
happy with sweats? You do not want sweats.
I'm a sicko. I need a sweat, even if it's against me. Like, I'm okay with the 3 hearts. I just don't want a queen. I don't want anything to end it. Even an ace of spades would be bad. It's not fun.
I feel safe.
Even an ace of spades would be
I need that heart rate
to the final
acceleration.
Miz, are
level.
you a 14% kind of guy that loses?
I don't even want to get an
happens.
ace. I want there to be a sweat. That was good.
That would have been fun.
I did have hearts. I did have hearts. I didn't
Dan
have hearts.
Colman will
hearts?
take 9
Wow,
points.
Jeff Gross heads
Miz,
up.
I said we were going to be heads up. I was a heat off. I was a heat off.
Cheddar again.
Bro, yeah, you had it. You had it. It was just
Can we
the
take a
wrong
minute here? No.
first and
Miz,
second.
this
guy.
is not normal poker. This is like fun style points like this and
man,
that.
There's a lot
I
of
have my own
intricacies
thing. I
to it.
experimented. I studied. I put in the time,
man,
and I'll just let him bark.
Yo, it's so totally
Antonio, you know? Just
Antonio
bark,
doesn't know what's going
bark,
on.
bark. He's the number 1 player in the world, but he's not the number 1 Premier player. I'll tell you that.
That's true.
I put him in the bottom third. How about that? of Premier League players.
You guys want to come?
This is confirmation of the current league standings after Coleman's eviction. He is now top of the board on 20 points, but he won't be there for long. Sorel Mizzi and Jeff Gross will now battle it out for those maximum 14 league points.
Considering you have 20 points going forward, that puts you in a pretty good position, right?
Yeah, I'm in a really good position. All the people that have done well, they keep doing well. And the
Yeah.
people at the bottom are staying at the bottom. So, yeah, that's really good for my position.
Okay, well, good luck in the last 2.
Thank you.
Heads Up gets underway after the break.
Why are you looking into my eyes, miss?
You have to be looking in my eyes for me to be looking at your eyes.
Welcome back to Premier League 7 here in Montreal, Canada. We are Heads Up here in Heat 3.
I have two very happy players here going into the heads up. Sorel, you have about a 3-to-1 chip advantage here. However, we are at the Playground Poker Club, and we kind of know that Jeff's not going to miss here, right?
It's been known that this is his spot, so anything could happen at the Playground Poker Room. Like anything has happened. He's won 3 flips. He's just the best. He hangs around like he's just there, and no one really notices them, and then he just gets first or second. That's his style.
It is. It's your style. You got first in the first tee. You're going for a double now.
Yeah, this feels good. This is not a lot of pressure. And Mizzi and I said we were going to be heads up last time, so I was off by 1, and tonight's Friday, so we're trying to speed it up. This one's going a little faster. We got night out in Montreal tonight, so we're going to try to get it going.
One thing is for sure, no matter the results for this heads-up match, Jeff Gross will be the league table leader. However, Mizzi, with 2/3 of the chips in play, will be looking to win maximum points here to help his Premier League campaign. As much pressure as you can get in the Premier League,
I want to hand heads
you can
up
also
no matter what.
get
No
to a
matter
point
what
where
they
there's
do, they can't take that away
absolutely
from
no
you.
pressure. Only 2 matches in,
Great
and
Mizzi,
both
heads up
Jeff
with the
Gross
lead.
and Sorel Mizzi are going to be in a spot
Canadians,
where
home
essentially
country.
they're only gathering chips for the final table. And they can really put the screws down. For Sorel, of course, way better for him to win here than get second.
Based on this match so far, too, Mizzi's going to, didn't Mizzi live a button? Seems like Mizzi's going to play a slow style. This could be a relatively long heads-up match. My guess is Mizzi wants to play a slow match and whittle him down. Keep him smiling, see which kind of smile it is.
Gross. Absolutely, it's a min defend, and he's out of position, right? So I guess you can just call. I would flat this. It's too big to fold. How much does it cost? Well, I would just defend. So
That's good. That's good.
He defended or raised? That's
He raised. Total.
He raised. If you're raising here, you're raising to get it all in, right? Wait, do you know? I don't know. No, I guess not. Wow.
This is a hand that, Mizzi would almost never miss the flop with, but overall,
I think
he's
he
not
raised to
looking.
fold it, too.
He's not looking to peel like this. He's not looking to play big
This
pots,
is what
he?
I don't think Jeff Gross anticipated this. I think he thought the hand was going to be over or it was a shove. I think that's, but it's the thing where Jungle and Mizzi love calling with the math. He has the math.
Yeah.
Look at this, 10 Jack of Hearts. It looks like two aces for him.
Of course, there's a lot of flops you hit and Mizzi's going to go with.
That's terrible to see, to check that, I think. I think that's terrible. You just give up the lead. You have to at least fire once. 10 Jack would just give up. He wants. I don't think Mizzi knows that he could check an ace. Some hearts could be. Wow.
Great card for Mizzi. If Mizzi was giving up and probably not going to win the hand now
he can win it legitimately. And Jeff can easily check fold this now. That's 2 cards against him that are in the range. This isn't going to get through. Nope. It's at least a call.
Check.
That's a really weird thing. Oh, wow. How much?
I think he checked too quick on the flop there, Jeff Gross. Not really thinking it through. A really small bet would have found out all the information. Really,
does Mizzi take the free card here because he feels like maybe Jeff was going to bet that? He's been pretty.
I think he's going to bet. I like it. I like a bet.
I don't know if I would bet or could you just go all in instead of betting?
Check.
I like taking the check first, then going all in, then betting. It's probably the wrong order, but free card didn't get there. There's no way that. Mizzi just gets to win this, right? Doesn't he know?
Well, the time to win it was on the
flop.
On the turn. Or the flop.
The turn.
I think the flop is reasonable.
Now he can't bet this, right? He can't bluff this. There's no bluff here. It's just a fold. You took your free
A lot
card.
of outs, buddy. A lot of outs. Did you really have the ace? No?
You had Jack 10 suited or something?
Something like that.
It's amazing. It was a good
Jack 10 of
technical
hearts.
read.
What'd you have?
Gross
Did you
piece.
have
I did not have an ace, but
Gross pieced it together and said,
Yeah.
"What'd you have? A 10
I did
Jack
have
of
the
Hearts?"
best.
Like immediately knowing a big hand with
best.
I don't know what you have. Maybe
the best hand. He's not when he was luckily right. He doesn't know it. That was a funny betting.
I drew at the
Yeah,
roll
so Mizzi's whole plan is that if he gets 3-bet by Jeff Gross, he's just not going to really.
And by the way, hats off to Jeff Gross, because remember, all we did was say bluff, bluff, and he didn't. Now he's been bluffing heads up. He did it yesterday too.
First
and
second.
maybe realizing
criticism.
that
I
Jeff
didn't know how I'm
Gross
going to go out
is
tonight.
taking
It's gonna
advantage of that
hurt.
tight.
Yeah, he's
tight bluff.
He's taking the bluffs completely out of Mizzy's hands when he 3-bets.
Yep.
Bunch of sick needles coming in from the table right now.
Yep.
Raise 40,000.
We needled them in the car. They're needling us on. Yeah. It's a needle. That's friends are for. Friends are to keep you honest. If you don't think your friends doing something right, you tell them.
Yeah.
You know?
Check.
Raise and call both players with aces. And Mizzy clearly with a plan just to slow this down as much as possible.
That's a great hand for Miz too. I mean, it pops open.
Check.
A 5, which you didn't have before, and a 2 is kind of a blank anyway, so it added value in case. You know, a couple more outs without hitting.
I think it's. I don't know. Is it time for Mizzy to bet?
It's very interesting.
I like a bet.
He gave up. Gross gave up the lead twice. It's reasonable just to
45,000.
Up. Now Sorel should say something about that expression. Maybe. I don't know.
It's almost like
you know how he kind of smiled a little bit. It's like a little. Sorel should start talking to him, but Sorel's too weak to talk. It's interesting. Sorel likes to talk when he's. Wow, this is a value call, by the way.
Is that going to slow Sorel down?
He's just thinking I have the best hand, and now he knows he has the best hand, and he's going to check and hope to hang Mizzy. Although I think Mizzy's going to check too. He knows that he's against the 9, like whatever. 5 or something.
No, I don't think he does. I think he might think he's up against like an ace high or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Not a shitty 6.
I mean, I feel like a 9's
6.
betting the turn a lot after Mizzy checks back. So
problem is there's not really a lot of ace highs out there. You know, that wouldn't have 3-bet.
The only thing is, it's funny if Mizzy wants to turn,
or like like Phil said, like a 6 or 5s or a 3, just any of those.
If Mizzy bets, I think the only bet really is super large because. There are a lot of value 1-pair hands that you can also get blown. You can blow those hands away. You can push them off like a king 6 and a 9, 8. You can push them off sometimes with huge bets, but it's really a sick play, and it's where the cherry bomber loses a lot sometimes.
I think Gross is going to call this, by the way.
This money
Me too. It's a crying sick call, but he's going to do it. He played it to get this call. Look at that. JG, you're the best. JG, I take back everything I ever said on national TV. I take it all back.
That pained Sorel because it made him think that maybe his overall strategy is a little too passive.
Had me the whole way.
Yeah.
The thing that's telling about that is there's JG taking extreme use of his, image. He's like, if I call, he'll shut down because I do have the best hand or whatever, and they know I have hands. And then the 7 comes, and he knows that's just too
50,000.
I think if a blank comes, he's still calling.
I just wonder if Sorel is going to decide that actually the better way to beat Jeff Gross is to be a little more hyper-aggressive rather than slowing everything down.
No, Miz is going to keep to his plan. Miz is not thwarted. He made, one hand goes horribly like that ace-4, ace-7 hand. That doesn't throw Mizzy off his game. He's sitting there with 1-6 against 9. He's not worried. Let's talk about this for a sec. Even though it says 50-50 in the monitor, in real life, it's Gross 100%. Gross isn't going to lose this game. Think about the future cards.
No, there's a few cards that come out. I mean, a 3 or a 2 or come out and Mizzy's not folding.
Check.
I just think JG can just make huge bets here.
Yeah, no, but JG's going to keep betting.
I
think this card, Mizzy's probably going to fold this. This would be a really difficult call to make.
It's a small bet.
65,000.
1/3 pot. Not teeny, but small.
I mean, it doesn't... Mizzy knows he's folding. Because there's just that kind of bet matches, and there's the pre-flop and the flop action. There's just too much... It's too good a story. The story's believable. My opponent has something. Okay, I can't figure it out maybe. Maybe it's a 6-8, 6 whatever. I don't know. It's a jack or a high club or a pair. It's just fold, Bet your draws, kids. Did you see that hand? When you have a monster draw like that, just bet it.
He's on the warpath, Jeff Gross.
Because sometimes they'll fold a better hand.
Wow. Even if it's not that much better, it still beats you.
It's only better when you're in the monitor room.
Someone had to do the work.
a milli ball for PBF versus 1.4 million for Mizzy.
55?
55,000.
Mizzy's coming. Mizzy keeps raising the button, as he should.
And by the way, that's a great hand heads up. Now, it just is, trust me. Jack Deuce of Diamonds is great. It's
great.
Suited.
Definitely overstated by Phil.
Okay, whatever. You have to think there's more ways to win a pot than hitting a Jack Deuce or a flush, you know? You can get out there with a 10-5 and just play. You can do it.
Raise.
JG re-raising.
I actually think that Jeff's three-betting range has been really good so far. I mean,
his three-betting range has been basically nothing all day.
Since the heads-up started. Since the king three, now the ace deuce.
He had an ace-7 offsuit earlier. He had the 4-bet with the king-3 suited earlier. I mean, how many times has he actually had it? I mean, the aces, he got 3-bet, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's always that thing that starts to creep in. I know Mizzy's very experienced, but he's starting to wonder, right? He's starting to wonder,
45,000.
is Jeff running over me?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I mean, Jeff's chipped up big time, so starting to wonder, is Jeff running over me? Starting to wonder, man, I kind of thought I had
48,000 was the bet.
In hand.
Call, 48.
This match in hand, but things are starting to slip away. But I mean, Mizzy's been around the block.
He's a tough nut to crack.
Check.
This is interesting. PBF raised with another monster hand, a 40%er of a straight flush, but you can't fold that. Right now he connects, and you kind of have to wash away that top card. The king doesn't really exist. You got to think a little bit. And that, I think Mizzy could just consider himself as having 2 over cards. Maybe not necessarily against the king, but why should I play this? I'm still in the lead. I'm doing fine.
Fold.
Might just fold. Yeah, it's like. But I definitely love the bet there. You know, the 10-6.
Yeah, I think you got to follow through on bet. It's a total value bet. You just have the best hand.
I wanted this. You know how sick I am. Like, I actually wanted you to get even.
Yeah,
so
cards like
I understand.
8 through queen can open up a world of weird middle draws or pairs and stuff.
I think
might have a hand. There was no shot after like the button folding, like whatever.
In the back
It's
of
just
his
like,
mind, he kind of,
you know, I knew you weren't folding that one.
Got this one.
Yeah, Jeff seems very confident. Wow, we're gonna see some fireworks here.
Raise. 135.
Now it's when it stopped getting fun. The fun has just left the building for Sorel Mizzi.
Yeah, I feel like Mizzy's hand has a little bit too much value to kind of 4-bet fold. I mean, I think the play is really just a call and play a pot in position. I mean, they both are pretty deep right now. They both have over 1 million chips. So yeah, that's what he does. Mizzy is going to be worried sometimes that his hand is dominated, but as it turns out, he's in great shape.
135.
And in the back of his mind, he feels like he'll figure out if it's dominated because Jeff Gross isn't really the kind of guy who just goes barrel with nothing.
Yeah. So this is a great flop for Mizzy. I kind of think Mizzy's going to win this one. I mean, Jeff might bet here, but I mean, I don't think Sorel's going to fold. And if
85,000
and checks, Sorel will probably bet the turn.
But Gross is maybe going to just keep taking advantage. He might barrel a couple times. Jeff has been playing very tight until 2-handed. Then he's gets it right. I mean.
He has 3-bet and checked a lot of times, Jeff Gross. I mean, Sorel might is Sorel within his rights just to think I'm just in terrible shape here? And to call and just hope for a 10 is...
Look, believe it or not, I can see Mizzy just giving up and trying to win a different way. I know that sounds crazy and everything, but it's like...
No,
he has different ways to win this match. He just doesn't necessarily...
85,000 call.
The truth is that, I mean...
This freezes everything up.
Jeff Gross is the 3rd time he's 3-bet Mizzy in a while. Mizzy's not saying, oh, he has to have ace, big ace right now. You know, he's thinking.
By the way,
he could be thinking Queen Jack is the best hand.
Also, float. Maybe I can steal it later.
Yeah,
I mean,
float,
JG's
steal it
done
later.
with this hand 100 times. What was it at?
135,000.
Oh my God, JG, you're a genius.
Fold?
Yeah.
Rast and I both got it wrong.
And that was a class play by Jeff Gross. Was the thought behind that he could get Sorel to fold a king? Was that his thinking?
Yeah, or a weak ace.
Gross has taken the chip lead. It may just be 100,000, but just how significant will that prove to be? More heads up coming after the break.
Welcome back to Party Poker Premier League action from Montreal. We're at the Playground Poker Club for heat number 3 of season 7, and action is living up to expectations. Let's get back to the table.
Well, I think Sorel was going into this, I mean, with a big chip lead, feeling really confident, and I mean, Jeff has just been destroying him, and Sorel does not feel confident right now.
Sometimes you feel like, well, my opponent just runs good.
I think Sorel's thinking to himself, why couldn't I be playing Dan Colman? He's a wizard. I know how to play wizards.
Call.
Jeff is showing a thing or two about his wizardry right now. I mean, he's
is.
played very well heads up. I will
He's
say
crushing.
that. I mean,
it's unbelievable. Some of the huge bets that he got, some of those huge pots he got involved with.
You know, and you can hear the post-mortem. So I'm saying he was folding every button.
He folded everything, and now he was bluffing everything. He has 2 huge gears.
yeah, I mean, Jeff is just kind of ready to go right now.
No one could ever think a guy who folds every button can bluff.
Every pot. He's feeling the
Call 45.
Wow. No,
a float.
I think
this is, by the way, this is a blend between a float and a value hand out of position. The problem.
Call a doctor for Sorel Mizzi.
I think Mizzi's starting to get a little flustered here. I'm not a big fan of this check
Yeah,
call.
it's really hard to make your bets. It's hard to. It's just hard to maneuver.
I think he's merging his spew range.
Check.
Between bets and calls.
Is he going to check for value on the river?
I mean, Mizzi has to bluff this. If he made this play, he has to bet here.
Yep.
It would be criminal. It would be criminal if he were to check
I think he should bet like 120.
Check.
Oh my goodness.
That's criminal. So this is interesting.
Wow. If Jeff checks this back and wins with King Jack, Mizzi needs to leave the
that river,
table
Mizzi.
right now.
Check.
Oh my
Check.
goodness.
Me too.
You got it.
Okay. Yeah, Jeff is in Mizzi's head.
King high, Jack.
Yep.
Mizzi is not winning this unless an act of the poker gods
It's a real hand. I'm getting some
changes
nice
this with some serious cards, because he is just totally getting flustered and kind of owned by Jeff right now. It's
kind of beautiful.
Small blind, big blind, please.
not what I expected to happen. I kind of thought Mizzi was going to take this down. He seems so on top of the world.
There's really no defense against a guy who's
just wins every tournament he plays.
We loved
the
Queen 8 play. No, we both
loved
it.
That. I know. I'm saying, yeah.
And I mean, I'm
brilliant.
It was great.
Yep.
I mean, I didn't think it was going to work, but I loved the play. I mean, I saw Sorel had middle pair.
This could be a nice hand.
But
now is Mizzi going anywhere, or is Mizzi going to let it go? That's the question.
I don't know.
I would think he's.
Mizzi so far has been calling 3-bets.
I think Mizzi might be going all in here.
This could be a nice hand.
It's so hard to fold ace-4. I mean, it's probably going all in.
145,000.
Mizzi, could Mizzi fold
Jeff's re-raise is a little big here. It's a little big. It's kind of telling, yeah. I mean, Mizzi's been really liking calling the 3-bets, but I feel like
big.
Jeff's 3-bets were a little smaller
he lost
before
a lot
this.
of value there. That was a terrible loss of value.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, I guess with a lot of hands like what Mizzi had, like aces, he kind of wants Mizzi to shove or fold, really.
Yeah, I want him to shove or fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't want like, King 10 of clubs.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, just get him out. Getting the chips is important, and JG knows it.
55,000.
With the old Mizzi might have done something. The new Mizzi is just going to call it. The old Mizzi might have said, I'm winning all the money.
The new Mizzi might have said time to make it 140, but then The new Mizzi is. Oh, good. Old Mizzi's coming back. There we go. I don't hate this play.
I love this play.
I like it.
It's a straight flush in the works.
125.
125,000.
Wow, it's 25.
You know, that's what makes a great poker play. You trap him in the corner.
Well, this is small
starts
enough.
snarling.
I mean, I expect Jeff to call this.
It's 70 to collect 180. This is like.
I mean, Jeff actually called him the spot with a hand very similar to this not that long ago. What was it?
Queen eight.
Look at Sorel's body posture. He's ready for battle. He's down and dirty. Now this is cage match time.
Yeah.
You know, it was all fun and games.
Well, he made every hand and just dominated the table.
Oh, see that face? That's the face of a fold, and he should talk about it. If Sorel said something before. And that's the end of that hand. Now we're gonna maybe.
I think Sorel's gonna get a very hard edge to him right now.
Tight fold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Small blind, please.
Yeah, Sorel finally has something to feel good
Gotta win
about.
one pot.
Taking a
Can't have them
while.
all.
Small blind.
And you know, probably the worst news for Sorel is that the blinds are going to be going up fairly shortly, and you know, at that stage, having the 2-to-1 chip
50,000.
disadvantage, there's certain unavoidable realities that are going to come your way.
Call.
50,000 call.
I think now Jeff's just going to outflop him and just end this.
He is in Montreal. That's a great flop for 10-jack.
Yeah.
In fact, you can feel the power of a 10-jack flop there more than the king-queen or other normal overcards because that gutter ball just feels so powerful. When you hit those and the guy has a set of fours, you're king Kong. You know?
I like this lead.
Me too.
Totally reasonable play. And I mean, if he gets called here, he very well might bet turns. So.
And if you're going to call a bet anyways, then just bet. Because if he checks the c-bet, that.
It's nice to be able to lead sometimes. Do it with some of your good hands. Do it with some bluffy hands. But so here, that way your opponent can't figure it out. So Mizzi's calling. I would not be surprised if Jeff leads a lot of turns, especially something like a 5 or.
That's not an ideal card for him.
No, not ideal. But I think a lead here is fine.
Check.
I think Mizzi should.
If I'm Mizzi here,
check.
I like checking it back.
You like checking?
I don't think you get him to fold like a set any 2-pair. And
any 2-pair calls, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he had ace-4, he would probably call.
Check.
Yeah, just check it
So
down.
Mizzi's going to see if his king high is good.
Yeah. I think the hand was played fine by all parties.
Yep.
Nice.
Sigh of relief from Sorel Mizzi.
Are we doing the thing where the out of position shows no matter what? As long as it's consistent, because I know one time you let me muck. So.
What I do?
You let me muck. So I don't want it to be unfair. So you can show
whatever you think. I don't care.
Yeah, let's just
do it. Let's make sure it's the same.
Yeah, we'll just make it so that.
Nice hand. I think I saved money. The great Miz King High is a good hand.
It is a good hand.
Have the cards deserted him?
55,000. Fold.
It's nice to win one post-flop hand against you, you know? Just been chipping me away, JG style. Silencing the critics everywhere he goes.
Not yet.
Big blind, small blind.
Sorel did not think this was going to be the hardest part of his night, trying to seal the deal.
That's
with
exactly
a 2-to-1 chip lead. It certainly has been.
60 total.
He's got a very intimidating presence right now, Jeff Bros.
Call.
just the full house.
Now, is this too big to bet? I think so. Because heads up, in a ring game, maybe you bet this out. I don't know. Heads up, I might just try and let my opponent 55. Hit like a queen or a 9 if he had a queen 9 or whatever. It's hard.
Yeah. The way Jeff plays a lot of hands, I think it's totally reasonable for him to check that back. And
people like to steal from a tight guy. If he's going to play the tight card, he should
kind of show like he has queen, king, or ace high. Hopefully his opponent hits something. You know, I think it'd be a totally reasonable way to play it.
Mizzi
really
clawing back a little bit. He's made about 200,000 in this level.
60.
Mizzi with just about the worst hand possible. Sometimes people look at him and just say, "Hey, I want to win with this one."
Yep.
Just looks like that's what he's doing.
This is how you get value out of your junk hands. You wait to win them when you shouldn't. You don't want to be looking at flops with this kind of hand. You want to be ending flops.
155 total.
Not wanting a call or a raise, of course. Probably going to.
I think he's just going to win this one.
JG's not going to.
Really weak here. It's not suited, so it's probably over.
It's definitely over.
Mizzi picked a good time.
That's for sure.
A little bit of luck and timing makes a big difference.
Yeah, this is timing your bluffs. This is a guy not giving up just because he lost the lead a little bit.
He hasn't smiled yet. And if Jeff Groves just whispers on his chips right now.
By the way, I mean, no, he's going to selectively pick his spots. It's just not going to be there.
That's nice. That was the feel-good one of the heads up for you. I know that. That was nice. Like, you're going to go like, I was like, yeah, I got one in.
Little momentum shifter, you know?
Yeah.
I honestly, it feels like, I mean, Jeff's intuition in this match has been really spot on.
Really?
To me, that's like a spot where if Jeff had anything reasonable, like ace-8 suited or ace-deuce, he would have just piled it in and just been like, don't think you have it this time.
Yep.
Now, the Gross style here is to just call this.
Yep.
They're too deep. You know, the Gross style is to call. If he shoves, I think it's more because of it's late at night now and he's tired than the way he actually wants to play with it. And he will be upset with it later.
Yeah, but he kept his theme. And now he wins the match.
Match is over.
And now he wins the match.
Oh, my God, JG, you are the king.
We're going home early tonight, people.
Wow, he's leading.
Before 1 a.m. It's amazing.
Holy
wow. 55,000.
Oh, my God. There's no way Sorel can't get it all in. Like, Sorel's just dying to figure out how can I get it all in right. This is just like unbelievable. Each player's like, how can I get it all in? Will I get it all in? That's all they can think, and they're both getting it all in.
Sorel might just call here. I mean, yeah, it's like, all right, if you have nothing, I might as well keep you in.
Yep.
And a diamond's not even an action killer, is it?
No, because they both have a diamond. Wow.
That's it. Hey, that Mizzi just got really lucky right there.
Yes, he's only going to lose most 2 more bets.
85,000.
No raise.
Wow, Mizzi, you are the best. I mean, this can he just fold aces here? I know it's sick, but Mizzi's good, and Mizzi knows that his opponent has a hand, doesn't he?
Why are you looking into my eyes, miss?
Bro, it's all about the choice. I gotta feel that connection.
Look at this. Sorel knows to talk to his opponent. I think he has to call.
Yeah,
but he got the live read that he should fold. JG was calling.
You have to be looking at my eyes for me to be looking at your eyes.
JG really wants that board to pair. He thinks his opponent has some kind of flush draw, maybe.
Another.
And look who's holding the ace of diamonds. Can Miz go on and turn my hand into a bluff in case he has 2 pair? Maybe I'll get him to fold.
I mean,
if JG bets, is this a value bet bluff blocker bet to get to find out the super truth, meaning that I'll get some hands to call.
But the real question is that if he bets, is Mizzi just going to jam it in?
Jam or? Yo, wow.
That's the question.
Now he can. He can jam it a lot easier now. That bet makes it easier to jam.
Yeah, but to jam it, he has to lay it all on the line, doesn't he?
He does.
And he's saying, I want my opponent to lay down a straight.
Or yeah.
My opponent will lay down. Sure, my opponent will lay down two pair, but I want him to lay. I want to rep the straight or a flush. If he has a
no, it's not repping a straight. If he like really makes a big raise, he's definitely repping a flush.
Yeah, he's only repping the flush. Correct. That's what I meant to say.
But
and you know what? If your opponent doesn't
aces.
have a 4 or a flush, he'll just fold probably, right? Can he do it? This is so sick, turning the hand into a bluff.
Because the way the board is run out, everything got
so
there.
the thing about this play is there will become there's an expiring time limit and sort of like facial expression that at some point, after some amount of time, if you look agonized enough, you kind of lose your ability to bluff
get it
here
successfully, right?
Mizzi hasn't lost it yet, but at some point, let's see if he kind of cracks. Okay, good fold.
He laid down the aces.
I had a little tickle.
You had a tickle?
Yeah, what'd you have?
I had a big hand.
Did you? I had a bigger hand pre-flop, I can guarantee that. I could have shoved. It would be very hard for you to call.
It would have been, but I
had a blocker. I had a diamond blocker.
Wow.
Look at that aggression. His V-chip is way up. His V-chip has quadrupled.
That could have been a bigger
Let's give Mizzi's some props there.
Big government gives you rebates.
It's a good fold.
Kind of like laying it on the line.
You know, I know the
laying
deal.
down
It's
aces.
like, that's my affiliate business now. I'm gonna
That was
LED
pretty
lighting.
legendary to fold that on the river.
60,000.
It wasn't a huge
Michael
bet.
make you part of the team?
I mean, it was the kind of bet that you could forgive yourself for calling because you have aces heads
It was a
up.
good fold.
I would buy lights from
It
you.
was a good fold. We'll get a little action on this one.
60?
We'll get a lot of action if a king comes. That is the card. A good old like king of diamonds.
And this is unusual for Sorel.
Heart.
Check. Well,
I mean, I think there's a good chance Mizzi bets this again. I mean, Queen High has no showdown value, and he's got to think he might just be able to get Gross to fold some one-pair hands, especially if they don't have a heart in them.
Yep.
So, I mean, these guys haven't really done a ton of double barreling. I mean, actually, Jeff's done a little more, but let's see.
Jeff saved up for a couple wall-up hands.
It's almost like Sorel just takes at least one street out of every hand because he doesn't want the pot to get too big.
So, yeah, I mean, this is a spot. It's I think a good play to go for it.
165.
I don't see Jeff continuing here.
Miz with the
He
shell.
does have the 7 of hearts. I mean, he's got a little bit more backup now if he's wrong, but it's tough.
He's not really sure what he wants to see. There's not really that many cards that make him able to call a bet on the river
Feels
easier.
queen kingy with the queen of hearts, Mizzi. I'm gonna give you it. Whatever.
Close.
That's pretty close.
Nice guess or nice?
Close.
Whatever.
You had one card right.
Which one of these two players will win maximum points? E3 concludes after the break.
You're sick. I know you're sick.
I enjoy the pain just as much as the pleasure, bro.
We are heads up here at the Playground Poker Club. Heat 3 of the Premier League is nearly over, but who will take those all-important 14 points? Sorel Mizzi or Jeff Gross?
So far today, the Canadian Sorel Mizzi has really shown his class, taking a huge chip lead in his bid to win maximum points.
This is a good run out for me. When it rains, it pours for the Miz.
But Jeff Gross, with one win already under his belt, really looks like he has cracked this format.
Mizzi, I'm a podium kind of guy. I'm not a fourth place kind of guy. This is not normal poker. This is like fun, style, points, like this and that. Like he doesn't just give out free info. You should put a disclaimer that
Stage
I don't
one
always
was
say what I
Sorel
think
Mizzi,
because
and stage
it's like,
two
you can't just give it away.
was the
Rast and
domination
Phil are
of
down
Jeff
there, right?
Gross. This is
I think they're
probably
both
the
there.
third stage of this
Yeah,
head-up
Phil's
match.
probably, Phil could easily be in there.
That's a good. That's a little.
Feels
That's
like
a really good
big
dynamic duo.
blinds.
I like those two.
Yeah.
And a little bit more like anyone's game.
Call 80,000.
Is it clear to Mizzi right now how he's going to beat Jeff Gross?
Check.
I'm not sure if he
Check.
is sure. The light 3 betting was working a little bit.
JG has turned me around. My entire opinion of him. Everything. I wonder what Antonio would be saying if he was sitting here in the box with us.
95,000.
I mean, I think Mizzy's starting to. Maybe he got a.
Call.
He doesn't know yet. He's developing an appreciation for Jeff's game. And Jeff has nothing. 10 high. The 3 and the river did
To
not
be
change
consistent
things.
with what Jeff's been doing, Jeff will win this pot because the way he's been playing the last 2 hours heads up.
I really can't imagine Jeff winning this pot.
But right, he can't. He can't win it. But in Jeff, I'm saying in Jeff's mind, Jeff might think.
I mean,
But
if
Jeff
he
gets
bets, he's not
stayed
winning
away
it.
from all the traps. He stayed away from all the traps. Correct. He's not winning it if he bets. But
He'd
in
have to go
Jeff's
for
mind,
a
does he
check
think he
raise.
can get through this one? Does he think he can?
Yeah, he'd have to raise this, and then it may or may not
By the way,
work.
whose turn is it?
It's Sorel's.
Sorel's in the big blind, so he's first to speak.
I'm sorry.
He's first to speak.
Sorel's going for a
205.
fat value bet with second pair.
This feels very wheelbarrow-y. Wheel like
Can't
ace
talk,
four-ish.
Jeff. It's done. You can't call now. You see?
Big fold.
Fold.
Once he says that.
A miss. How? I mean, just back to the wall, no problem. Whatever. Just run it up. Adversity, a little adversity. This would have been. You had so many chips. Like to just wouldn't even be fun. You had to like couldn't have the chip lead the whole tournament. That's boring.
The sick part of me likes
That's
the
why I have
fact
to punish
that
you and
you
teach you that you don't. You shouldn't
like
like. You should just like to win. You shouldn't enjoy like the.
I enjoy the pain just as much as the pleasure, bro. I'm a sick human being. You either have it or you don't, and I have it.
You're sick. I know you're sick already.
I just wanted it to be even, I wanted it to be fun and 80.
80,000.
Mizzy's got his swagger back. JG is playing this one.
He actually all the friendly banter and everything. I mean, the light 3-bets kind of a little bit deserted from Jeff's game.
Yeah, he's slowed down on him.
He didn't. He was sticking them in every once in a while, wasn't he?
You have a lot now, huh?
You think he's thinking I got to change my tune?
You have 1-4.
I mean, I guess that's what he was thinking. It would have been nice if maybe he kept it up a little bit.
Yeah, I have $1 million.
You have $1 million? Oh, really?
Do a little inventory over there. Like keep it tight. You got chips everywhere.
I did not realize.
You just like chips everywhere.
Huge flop for Jeff, but nothing for Miz. It's hard to see Jeff getting more than maybe like a C bet out of Miz here. So
check.
There he goes.
Miz with the obligatory
80,000.
7 high. Got to try to take this one down.
And Jeff's hand is so strong that
it is very strong. I kind of like a call here. I mean, a call is just you keep in low flush draws that are drawing dead to you.
This could be bad news. I think I'm short on my 200 sticks.
A lot of there's a little bit of a tell here by Jeff too, counting down his hand just to make a call. I mean, you haven't seen him do this before with kind of weak hands, so it's thinking about what he wants to do, his stack. It is a bit of a tell.
I think it's a reverse tell. I think JG has purposely done all this like nervous. He knows he has aces, right? Top set, whatever you want to call this. He can't lose. He knows it. That's why he's doing the nervous thing, maybe. I hope that's just a call. Please let that be. Oh, come on. What is that?
180.
At least when he raised, he went super small. Because if you are going to raise here, you do need to like min it.
Fold.
The reason why you min raise is you're keeping like gutters and flush draws
Best timing
and stuff.
ever. You just always have the right time.
It's the worst time if you didn't have anything.
Huh?
It's bad time if you didn't have anything. You might have shelled off.
So you're claiming you had a real hand, huh?
Huh?
So you're claiming you had a real hand.
I am.
You have seemed to have very good timing this match, I will say. It's impressive.
That is true.
In terms of like folds pre-flop,
yep,
you're crushing.
Well, that's sort of more lucky than anything. I think.
That's timing. Yeah, I
JD
guess
knows he's
little
got
luck,
some
little
stuff
timing.
through. I mean,
yeah, he got a lot of stuff through. He got the super huge one through.
yeah, the Queen 8, that was a big one.
Still due for a walk, Miz. Like one time, we should be able to talk about that later.
That's good.
I mean, there are hands I would give you a walk with, but I haven't had anyone yet.
Really? I haven't had one hand that was walkable. Like,
Check.
Nope.
you're from the Antonio Esfandiari school, then. You know, a button like a little wider than most.
Check.
These guys just like playing with each other.
I think so.
I mean, you know, let's keep it at 1.2, just trade some chips back and forth. Turn this into
40,000.
an epic heads-up match here.
Yeah, well, Mizzy found his feet, and now he's enjoying the challenge a little bit.
These are the
isn't he?
hands I
But-
try to avoid, Miz, with the limps and stuff. Like these are
Call.
normally I wouldn't play this hand, and now I'm like in here guessing.
He shouldn't be talking so much. I think
This is the new
Mizzy's too
stuff.
good at
This is where I'm not
deducing
sure
that
yet
that
what to
really
do.
is bottom pair or middle pair.
Check.
I think Mizzy can drill it. Just drill it and own it. That talking is what people do in cash games a lot when they want you to slow down. They want to, I don't know, it's like a weird, it's an energy flow live feel thing. It just...
You think he's already
I
surrendered
think
this
Mizzy
pot?
can feel that. Mizzy plays a lot live now, you know?
Yeah, Mizzy's gonna go for it again here. Trying to really get the 4 or 6 to fold.
Yep. He knows that you know. Yep.
100,000.
And the turn and the top queen, I don't see JG getting out of line here. I think it's going to be a I didn't make 2 pair fold. And
6 digits straight. It would be the most incredible reverse.
Now this,
I know what you're
if
thinking.
JG
The
calls
problem
here,
is
this
that
would be a
if I call, then he's going to bet again. But I don't think he has the ace because he would have raised the pre-flop, right?
So what Mizzy's doing
is that the
That's
thought
not what I'm
process?
thinking. I know you don't have an ace, and I might even just have you crush, but I'm just, it's not about that.
Uh-oh.
It's a strange
You know
hand.
I don't have an ace, though.
No, I don't know that. That's what I'm telling myself. I mean, I
Look at
could
that.
have
Mizzy's
one. I don't
steering
know. A
the
lot of
fold.
things could be
If it was
going
close,
here,
he's steering. You know what I'm saying? He's steering the fold.
Well, you have to
doing
hold
well.
on for 2 streets. That's the problem, right?
Well, no, that is not. Listen, these are not the problems. There's more than that.
This would be very strong if Jeff calls here, honestly. I mean, Mizzy's been trying to talk him out of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Jeff, it looks kind
But
of
his hand's
determined.
weak enough, he might have to turn that call into a raise just
By
to
the
get
way,
the value out.
this is what I was. We were talking about epicness. This would not be an epic call. This would be very good. But if he called and Mizzy bet the river, and Jeff called the river with a pair of 4s, that would be an epic
But stick to my plan.
Okay.
Stick to my plan. I think you have the draw, but I'm gonna just give it up. I'm just gonna give it up, Miz. You know what? Because that wasn't the hand I was supposed to play. Like I just wasn't supposed to play that hand. I'm not going to. I'm not
Giving
gonna.
it up has just worked for you this whole time. I mean, you can't deviate from that plan right now.
I could deviate, but I choose not to.
You
deviate.
choose not to.
Big blind,
You
please.
could.
I could easily deviate. I
But
mean, that's like.
Why would you? I mean,
Yeah, we're one
everything's
hand
going
away.
well.
Like we're one hand away from all the shippies. Like whatever. That's not the hand I wanted to go with.
Mizzy's getting Jeff to just
80,000.
talk honestly about everything in an honest way, and he read that hand right to the river through a live read flow chart analysis.
not only that, but didn't Jeff just pretty much tell Mizzy, I really hate it when you limp? I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, he just pretty much said.
I didn't address that,
you
but
know,
that's what he
I
said.
mean,
205,000.
Yeah, Mizzy's
Mizzy's like-
feeling strong now. There's been a little shift here. Jeff's energy's gotten a little weak and Mizzy's gotten a little strong.
See, and what it really is ultimately is Mizzy can feel the honesty that's flowing from JG's conversation and his gum and his posture and his faces, and he's just trying to seize. It might only be
I
4
keep
hands.
my perfect record in the 3-bet pot.
It's hard. See, it's hard when you're a really
Only when
nice
you
guy
feel
like
that.
Jeff.
Yeah.
I
When I
have to
3-bet,
admit,
okay.
sometimes when I sit down and I play poker with good friends of mine, I have to
That one hurt,
remember
Miz.
you're
That
playing
one felt-
poker, you're trying to win.
That was like my
You can't be a
radar's telling
really
me
nice
this
guy.
thing, but my
Jeff's here. He's starting to be a really nice guy with
There's a-
Miz.
it's true.
Helping Miz
conflicting
win.
signals.
I mean,
Sometimes
Miz
I
was
lean towards
complimenting
folding
him.
in
He's
these
brought out his
situations.
pure heart.
That's been
No,
part of
trust
it.
Jeff
your
had
gut,
the
bro.
black card earlier, didn't
Yeah,
he?
Jeff
he
was-
really had the black
Small
card
blind,
out
big
there.
blind. This is small blind.
Gotta get it back.
It's hard. Poker's too tough. You have to be too vicious, you know? You've got to raise them with the queen high on the jack 7-5 and whatever to win sometimes, and it's hard to do that when you're nice.
80,000.
Yep. Jack 9 is really a big hand. I think I might run with this one. I mean, I'm seeing 8-3, but even if I couldn't see the 8-3, I might run with this hand.
You know, it's only 25 big blinds he's got. Couldn't he just sort of, you know, put a...
It's 25 big blinds left?
I mean, don't you think he could just kind of put a guttural roar statement up, you know?
Oh, I would just call then. I thought it was shorter stacked than that.
What about the, you know...
You don't have to let this rip.
Slam jam.
This is a hand with a lot of value. You just don't want to fold.
Yeah.
Oh.
Unfortunately, Mizzi has nothing.
I hope JG can check this. Please check it. Oh, I don't like this. This is so terrible. This is the thing. If I could put my tightness on some boards into Jeff's brain, he would win all the money. The only way he wins when Miz decides to hurricane lunge with air on a pure read that's wrong. That's the only way he can win.
I feel like Jeff's been kind of balancing his leads a little bit,
Has
right?
he? I mean, he
did the 10-jack.
He's only led
He had
with
the 10-jack
monsters.
offsuit that time on the 7-9 board. And
Yeah, true.
But then he did the second
But then he just checked it down.
For you guys at home, if you ever get called here on the turn, if a 3 or an 8, any non-diamond comes, check, because if your opponent was floating,
he will hurricane lunge.
He will hurricane lunge. And the only way you're getting that lunge is if you give up the ghost on the turn. But Mizzi has no, what do you call it, get there value.
Yeah, the problem with Mizzi's hand, I think he really wants to float.
But he has no backdoor value.
Nothing, but he might just do it anyway.
He's so sick. Oh, look at this.
Wow.
And JG's not going to know how weak Mizzi
The
is.
sick thing is Mizzi, who has not made really a flop play all match, is just going to make it when Jeff has like the nuts. The stone nuts.
No way. Oh, poor Mizzi. Mizzi's going to hate hearing that. By the way,
is there any way Jeff can find a call here? He can't really.
He really can't. 'Cause what if your opponent has ace of diamonds, 5 of clubs? It's important to get the money in.
Done.
Yeah,
I don't think
it doesn't
Mizzi's
matter if
putting
you
more
call or raise. You can't get any more money anyways.
Yeah.
You know, once you call, you're saying, "I have a set and I'm not going anywhere," or "I have a flush." It's like 8 high or. God.
Yeah, if I'm Jeff, I think I just.
But Jeff thinks, by the way, it's much more likely your opponent has
ace
king 10 with the king of diamonds, or ace of diamonds.
No, not king 10, but like no pair with a diamond.
Yeah.
I think
ace of diamonds, 4 of hearts. How about that?
Yeah,
Anything?
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is, JG doesn't know it. JG thinks he's going with this hand. Okay, I gotta pretend I'm weak and raised. I think that's what JG might do.
All in. Re-raise, all in. Fold.
Wow.
And
what an uptick hand.
Sorel Mizzi just did not have the energy
Now
there.
it's exactly switched. It's a mill ball for Mizinator, and it's 1.4 mil ball for PBF, a.k.a.
What
Jeffrey
brought
Rose.
that on?
I don't know. For some reason, I guess Mizzi decided Jeff was leading weak.
You had nothing?
I don't know why.
Leading weak keeps Jeff Gross a nose in front of this fascinating heads-up battle. More to come after the break. Welcome back to Montreal and the Playground Poker Club. We are at the business end of Heat 3. A heads up featuring Jeff Gross and Sorel Mizzi.
I've been learning. That's a fun
intriguing
game.
run of hands over the last
I don't know the
2 minutes.
statistics, but I know that when you have 2 random
The
cards,
interesting thing
and a
is
flop
he's
comes,
seen 2 hands recently with a
pretty hard to
lead.
hit a
One
pair.
was the Jack 10 where he
sometimes you
won
don't
with the
hit
King
pairs,
Queen. And that one,
Or a
Jeff
flush.
gave up the
Flush
turn.
is
So
even
if your
Flush
opponent's
is
going to give up
118-1.
the
Let's
turn
not get
when
out
they
of
have
hand. I had a
nothing,
good hand, but-
then the way to play is call and see if they give up the turn.
Yes.
But
Raise.
on the other one, he called
80,000.
and then fold aces on the river. And
Yeah.
Jeff kind of told him that he had a really big
80,000
hand.
call.
Yeah, but in Sorel's mind, he hit the hand on the turn. He didn't flop it. Maybe in Sorel's mind, it was a pair and a straight draw.
Which hand?
The hand with the 3 deuces.
Oh,
Check.
yes.
So maybe Sorel thinks he actually is kind of weak when he leads.
Yeah, that's definitely possible.
You know, maybe it was.
And that's why. And I guess Sorel just
55,000.
felt like he didn't have enough to float.
Well, either way, that definitely got Jeff's energy back. Look at, I mean, he's definitely more intense now, and he's not
Mizzi just
being
doesn't
loose-lipped.
believe.
He's not being
Mizzi
loose-lipped.
doesn't believe his opponent has a king here. easy to believe. He gets to act second, you know.
Wow, great card from Mizzi. I mean, it actually gives
Check.
him more outs to win the pot, and it's a lot of now believable cards if he decides to bluff at some point that he could maybe get Jeff off
Check.
the board.
Yep, like the river, for example,
Yeah.
if he misses.
So, I mean, if I'm Mizzi right now,
Check.
wow. He's hoping ace high is good, but honestly, a bluff very easily could have worked. It's very tough calling Jeff spot with a 4. I mean, not
Check.
beating much.
Ace
Check.
Pair.
Nice hand.
Wow, it's a tough one for the Miz.
There have been a lot of momentum shifts in this match, and we could be on the verge of another
Yeah, it's
one.
1.5
Like
to
this
900.
is a weird spot. Honestly, if you're in Miz's shoes, this is I'm going to explain a very interesting concept to you folks at home. This is a spot where it actually turns
Small
out
blind,
he's at
big
the
blind.
very bottom of his range.
Small
Given that he
blind.
check called the flop, it's almost, and then a 5 hit. So the 5 fills in all possible straight draws, either making a straight or a pair. So ace high is the actually worst possible hand Mizzi could have. So he should have tried to turn that into a bluff. Because if you're sitting in Jeff's shoes with like bottom pair or a pair of 5s, it's actually very hard to call.
That's the plan.
Because you basically have
Call.
to assume your opponent's turning ace high into a bluff.
As we're
in order to
talking
have the
about
best
how
hand.
hard it is to connect.
Yep.
you can-
So it's a weird
That's
spot
why we like
that most
having
people
King Rast in the box.
don't think
'cause
about.
King Rast gets to the juice of it
Check.
right there with one lucid statement. That was
I
strategy.
need to think about that one. 'cause
So
that's,
it's a weird spot where because he actually has the worst hand he possibly can have, and Jeff checks back the turn, so Jeff is probably pretty light.
Check.
It's worth it to turn ace into a bluff. If you have the best hand, you're obviously going to win. If you don't, I think you get Jeff to
40,000.
fold
Yeah,
pretty much up to maybe around ace 6, honestly. It's pretty hard for Jeff to call with a 4 or 5.
And this is interesting because this is what happens when middle pair with no kicker hits a real hand with runner, flush draw, straight draw, over card draw. And even 6 is not so bad for the ace jack.
Check.
It's better than seeing some cards, let's put it that way. But I think Miz, do you think Miz knows he's, do you think Miz thinks he's winning? Miz, you probably think
I
it's
like a
close
little
to-
bet there again against Jeff, charging for his draws.
Now, by the way, if it comes check, Mizzy's going to take the value and know he's got it.
For sure Mizzy's going to bet. Mizzy got the best hand here.
Because if you have a queen, you're
Check.
just not checking this twice in a row. He wants to get his value. Maybe an ace for call.
Honestly, great spot to go for a check raise in Jeff's spot with a queen, for what it's worth, against tricky opponents.
The Miz.
$105.
We
Call.
didn't even think about it, and maybe not.
Full house.
It's a pretty good value hand. I mean, it's beating all the bluffs and whatever.
100. More.
Still got to pay.
Yeah.
I think I like that call.
Yep.
It's
I mean,
fun to
it's
do a
a great
thing that
call.
no one else has.
No,
though.
we'll have like, we'll do
the thing
two
is
things.
that
We'll have
16
one
out
that we
of-
like the
sorry,
best, but when
18
we're
out
both
of
at the same
27
table,
experts
alternate
call
gets to
that.
do it. You can't do the
18?
same thing. But then
I
if we're
like
in like
Yeah.
random
It's
tournaments,
a
it's
weird
like whatever.
reason.
We do the
That's
best
a
thing.
great, let's put it
I
this
think
way. If
that's
you're
a
going to
good
try and
idea.
catch your opponent
Everything's been
bluffing,
done though.
you have better
Well,
shot
that's
there
what the
than a
last
lot of
person
other
who did a
spots.
thing said,
That's true.
right?
That's true.
So I mean, there's things to be. It's like music. How do they keep
Call.
making good music?
Yeah,
but like
it's
they just,
amazing,
they just
isn't it?
do it. It's just like
Every year.
it's amazing.
Check.
Like we could
Oh,
figure
Jeff
that
checks
out.
this
Like
back.
if me, you, and
Pretty
Tony
strong
Michelle,
hand.
Rast like just sat down for a
There's
while,
got to be something cool.
we could figure out a song on the radio.
Everyone likes this flop in a way.
Yeah, Gross is thinking maybe ace high is good. I got a gutter. Unfortunately, no clubs. Mizzy,
40,000.
Yeah, if that was a 5 of clubs, it'd be a big difference.
Mizzy likes his middle pair.
I will say that the limping on the
Diamond.
button is relatively tilting, but it
Call.
works somewhat.
See, look at he's trying to buy free
It
cards for
has
his hand.
been
It
working.
has its perks.
Yes, it does.
He's trying to say in this hand it has its perks.
Check.
Now he's like, he's back into bluff catching world.
Well,
This opens up a 7 now.
Check.
but
too.
Mizzy's got a 6, so he's just gonna check it
Yeah.
down.
There's
Oh.
a 7 for the nutter, butter, kind of nuts, second nuts, whatever. You know, it's the nuts now. This is really weird because it's a straight for everyone.
This is a
So
spot
if
where
you're-
Jeff definitely might try to bluff and try
Yep.
to take it down, but it will
He
not
might.
work.
He might. Because he knows it's a chop. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Wow, he's going bad.
Yeah,
Now,
this is going to get ugly.
Does Sorel
This is gonna
ever,
get ugly.
ever in his mind's eyes
110,000.
not I mean,
no, he has to raise.
Right, he has to raise. He
I mean, Jeff never check calling the flop with 10 jack.
Right.
I mean, the parlay of Jeff deciding not to raise 10 jack pre.
Yeah, and then having
check
all
calling
this. Yeah,
on
the best
10
you can
jack
have
on
is
the
a
flop.
10, so you got to go for the free roll fold.
Yeah.
Call.
Feels like you have a 10.
I have a 10.
Yeah.
Wow, he just called. I don't like the call.
I think you have to call too. Put the.
No, I think you
I mean,
should.
sorry, raise. Did I say call?
Yeah.
Raise. Because it's too much of a narrow range that he has.
10 jack. You just shove
Right,
and hope
river.
your maybe opponent.
Makes
I mean,
a
it's a
blunder
lot
and
of pressure with the 10.
Yep. Yeah, if your opponent shoves and you have a 10, you might even get a fold. And once in a blue moon, you'll get a call with the straight, thinking he's up to it.
Punishes.
Sorel Mizzi has found
You're like, wow,
something
can you
that
have 10
works,
jack
and
ever?
it's the limp on the button.
You look
And
like a guy
Jeff
who had a
Gross
10.
has yet to
Yeah, it
find
felt
an
like a guy who
antidote.
was repping a 10.
He's been
That's what I
checking
was
weak
going
and
for.
checking strong, and it's really taken him off his game. That might be part
Why
of the
stop
reason
with what's working?
three bets are gone.
Right.
Mizzi's got him exactly where
That's
he
what
doesn't
Phil
want
Laak
to be,
says, right?
which is playing bad hands out of the big blind.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to be.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff folds to not be doing that. Jeff seems to be more comfortable playing his kind of solid hand
Right.
range.
You know, he doesn't like having to figure out what to do with the 10-4.
Touche. The lead has been working
He wasn't
for you.
winning any pots on his button, Mizzi, and now he's winning every pot on his button. Isn't the antidote for Jeff Gross to start raising Mizzi's limps?
It's like, how could I have anything? All I'm doing is like letting the flops go with the best hands and like trying to
I
get
don't
show
do
and see what
nothing
you
and
can
everything,
do.
but definitely some.
Like, why would I bet? I'm just like
start
buckling.
raising them.
I want to see
like
it.
A great candidate would have been the ace-8 of clubs, but then, you know, throwing in other ones too, like the
Jack 6 of diamonds.
Jack 6 of diamonds. Yeah, there we go.
I really want to see your hand.
Check.
I'm curious.
Is that binding that you're not betting the river or no? Or is that like
Not binding, but
Jeff Gross likes to talk a little bit during the hand when he's
50,000.
weak middle strength.
Full.
Oh no, I guess I wouldn't get to see anyway. You would just check fold.
Yep.
Most likely.
That's kind of one of those bets that
Not 100%, but
if you
known
get
to
raised,
show my
you're never
hands when I don't
calling.
need to.
And you're hoping the guy just.
But you never know.
Was it better to check and try and get some value out of a bluff there, Rasty?
Let's see, 8.
Or should we never question the great JG?
I don't know.
maybe we should find, like, if there was a sit and go tour, maybe we'd be the best though, because I feel like we got pretty good sit and go.
80,000.
When like a guy who gets second a lot meets a guy who gets second a lot, like something interesting happens.
Yeah, they're both
going on
working really hard to get second right now. No one wants to win this one.
These kids are the best.
JG's got a hand deciding whether to call or raise.
All in?
Raise all in.
There we go.
That'll do it.
I think he's kind of got to stand up and pound the table.
How much do I have?
Is actually, if you could see Mizzi's hand, great move. Queen 9 of diamonds has
tons
of equity
just
against
mix
ace
it up.
10, but by just
Instead of a
shipping it, he
bet,
just
maybe we
took
do
all
that.
away.
Yep.
Maybe somehow that'll spur the game to get going,
So-
because like we're just two guys trying to see flops, you know.
Small blind, please.
Yes. So these gamblers are the best.
It's that whole philosophy that like I just can't call with anything.
Yeah.
There we go.
80,000.
There we go.
That's the pocket aces I was talking about.
Call.
Here's the reason why Antonio doesn't think king
I wonder in that
is aces.
exact moment
Your
what your
opponent can
calling
have
hand
king
would have
eight,
been, because it's different,
and you're
obviously,
overcoded and
right
you're in a
there
bad
than like
spot.
a little bit.
You don't
know?
care if your opponent's got.
Now you do. If you have king 3 of spades,
Check.
let's see if JG can lose the minimum.
Quite a bad flop for JG. I mean, his
It's
opponent's
bad.
going to hit this a
C-bet.
lot.
It's got C-bet written all over it, and
Although I don't
It's
love
got-
this
I'm
C-bet.
65,000.
why? Because it's
Well,
8 through
queens
queen
and
range?
jacks, queens, jacks, and 10 highs, which you beat, all drilled this flop.
Yep.
Ace high may or may not call you.
Also, yeah, anytime those
Call
8 through
65.
queens come, that's the cards people connect with, because the cards they call with a lot. You can't blame the C-bet.
Check.
No,
Really
I mean,
double
it's
barrel?
never
that wrong,
never
too.
that wrong.
I think JG's going to close up shop.
Yeah, me
the
too.
way the hands float out, he's got to feel his opponent's connected.
The problem, too,
Check.
is he's just, as you can see on the thing, he could just be dead.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he's got to be thinking maybe a king's good. That's about it. So it's just not a spot where he has much to go with. Like nothing like ace-10 or something where he had maybe an overcard and a gutter or 2
7, 10,
overcards
5, 6, 6, 7, these weird other hands. It's possible Gross thinks he's just, you know, might win it with king high. If it goes check, he might check for value against some missed draws. Just hope the king high.
Aren't too many missed draws.
6, 7, 5, 7, 10, 7.
Bluff all those.
5, 6, yeah, that's true.
I mean,
now this is a value bet, by the way. I believe this is straight value, hoping that something like pocket 6 is ace 4, ace king, ace jack call. It's kind of a sick, weird, thin. I don't know what the kids would call it, merging your ranges kind of.
Yeah, this is a value bet for sure.
And look at king high; it's kind of the same.
145.
As a pair of fours,
Wow, Miz. I had you. I thought the queen hit you, like 10 jack, queen jack, and then now I don't think you have a queen. So like, what are you doing? What are you betting here?
Actually, his story makes sense.
It doesn't look like. I mean, you say that, and PBF can never raise. Once you give that, the most you can do is call.
This would be.
I mean, what?
Yeah,
I mean,
you called the bet on the flop.
I think this would be a bad call.
Yeah.
I mean,
bad
Posturing. What do you have? You can tell me.
Oh.
Call.
7, 8. No good?
8's good.
It's 145.
I think that's a kind of a bad call.
Me too.
Missing 20.
I mean, you
Should
can't
be
think
right,
of a few hands that you're beating.
Nice hand, Mizzy. Forgot who I was playing. You know, the average
Yeah,
Joe isn't
145,
valuing that, but the Miz, no problem.
Yeah.
Mizzy's
Average
Whoa,
Miz.
that would've been nice.
That's 45.
See, you're on top. You run a pretty clean game here, Miz. You're trying to give you an extra 50.
No.
I need every extra bit of chips I can get.
Wow.
You went from 3-1 dog to chip leader to what are we at now? I feel like I'm ahead, but not by much.
Blinds are starting to get aggressive. Wow, they're at 30-60.
30-60. This is party time. This is all part of the plan. Like, get the Miz to the big blinds, and then the same as like this guy, the heads up dudes. You guys just do the heads up, like perfect math stuff. Now it's like a little more
I'm
variance.
not one of those perfect math dudes. I'm
not either. I'm a feeling guy, but
I'm
like
a feeling guy too,
I know
bro.
that I can reduce the math of the feeling when it gets late. You know.
30-60.
Here we go. Sometimes the cards help it.
Yep.
Get back.
120 total.
120?
Yep.
Mizzy's gonna just do it. I just think he's doing it.
How much did you start with?
It's not enough to play out this whole. Like it's too much value.
Yeah, I don't think Gross would be terrible bad for Gross. Would it be just for him to just go for all in or fold?
I would go all in with ace 7
I
here.
actually really like him just limping the jack 10 of diamonds on the button with his stack size.
You start with about
to avoid this spot.
Yeah, right, it's just leaked out
I mean,
more
you almost
chips.
have to call, like with his hand, to a shove.
Right, isn't it crazy?
Raise all in.
It does feel like it's one of those things.
This feels like this is like the Mizzy hand where he's like trying to get this one through, and then he can run me over. And I have a pretty good hand, Miz.
You have a very good hand, Jay.
It's time.
But, I don't know what the geniuses
I mean, look,
say
against
do here.
ace 7,
It is time, Jeff.
48%. You see that?
Yeah.
What are the blinds? 30-60?
Like it would actually be a mathematical mistake if he folds
10
this
blinds.
after putting in 120K.
Wow, I run good here, Miz. This feels like I gotta be just super
this it?
live. I think I'm. What's that?
Is this it?
Feels it.
It feels like it's
This
it?
feels like it's it. Everyone wants to go to sleep here.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's go out.
I think we're
it
gonna
doesn't
do
matter.
it.
It's
Yeah,
irrelevant.
I mean, it's not that it doesn't matter. I'm just
It's
thinking the
3
math
points.
real quick. I'm probably not folding, and you have the best hand. So those are two
I
good
have the
things.
best hand for sure.
I can't. I don't know because I think you're doing the thing where this is the momentum thing. Like this is the one you got to get, and then it's like whatever.
As soon as the blinds go up, it's a really good idea.
Yeah, it's a perfect hand. That's like part of my thought. I almost just shipped it myself, but then I was like, I want to see if he does it, and I'm just not afraid.
He's calling this.
Come on, Jeff, just put it in, buddy.
Yeah, call.
30-60, right? So if I were to let it go,
Put it in.
Yeah,
You're
he
gonna
knows
feel
he's
good
gonna call.
gambling with this. You're just gonna like seeing those cards flop
It's
out.
Montreal. It's Montreal.
Diamonds gets there.
I mean, this is just too pretty.
Yeah.
See,
I call.
You're not losing this hand at playground poker.
Yeah, rag. That's right. Ace rag or sixes.
Jack 10 suited.
The Miz.
All right, buddy. This is it.
This is
Either
great.
way, we
This is
go
why
out.
we
We have a
grinded
good
for this. We
time.
could have just done this blind like 4 hours ago. We got all kinds of things we're doing. Oh,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
fun. That was
I thought
fun.
it wasn't
2 to
going to
1
be
dog.
fun.
What's that?
I thought it wasn't going to be fun, and then I realized, wait,
honestly,
it is
I
fun.
really don't want the 7 of diamonds at any
Queen of
point.
clubs.
That's just not cool.
Bam.
Oh, that's, dude, this is
more
like,
outs?
I couldn't draw this hand up more fun. This is good.
You have enough points, bro. Just
take a. Oh, it's red?
Red in the bed.
That's it.
God, I could have been the
GG,
only
buddy.
Premier League player to win every heat he's ever played in his life.
First and second's not bad either.
First and
Nice
second
job,
is
man.
not
Let's
bad
go out
either.
on the
And
That
for
should be your
Jeff
call,
Gross,
too, right?
second
It's like
place here, but he is the league leader.
Probably, yeah. Reluctantly.
Fantastic heads up to finish off that heat. And for Sorel Mizzi, he really made a statement for the Premier League. Brian, what was his secret tonight?
Well, his secret was to make really big pots, make full houses. No, Sorel played really well. He did run good. He made a lot of big hands. And I think part of the trick in Premier League is if you can really build up a big chip stack early, it puts a lot of pressure on your opponents to just try to squeeze into like third or second and not really try to beat you, at least until it gets to heads up.
Mizzi and Jeff Gross, 1 and 2 now in the Premier League standings and looking strong to be at that final table.
I mean, you must be on top of the world.
Huge, yeah. I needed a good score here to like be in a comfortable position. Yeah, I'm really happy with how I played, and Jeff played great as well. And he had me nervous for a while when he had me. I had him 3-1 to start, and he got the chip lead back. But I ended up getting it back and winning. So I'm really happy with the result for sure.
So after 3 heats, this is confirmation of the league standings. These are the players who sit at the top of the board and now include Sorel Mizzi, who won the heat tonight. Those now in the playoff spots are Junglemen, Scott Seaver, Jonathan Duhamel, and last season's winner, Dan Shak. And the players struggling at the bottom of the league table in the elimination zone will really need to up the pace.
Heat 3 is done and dusted. Who will take down Heat 4? Join us next time for more poker action here at the Party Poker Premier League.
You're so hopeless, it's amazing.
Very strange, Vanessa, very strange.
Oh, I played bad. Come on, don't do this, man.
The problem is I might be playing dirty.
Oh, I played so bad.